Coach Paul Maurice, please raise your hand and wait for the mic. We'll start front left with Mike.
Paul Michael Russo from The Athletic. Can you talk about just how tough a game this was for Matthew Tkachuk to play and what led in the third period to the decision to just sit him until maybe the end when he could come through?
Well, Matthew's been a grinder his whole life, and he was again tonight. We were just hoping to get into some situation where he could use what he had to give us, and hoping to get on the power play a little earlier, I guess, and certainly at the end of the game.
Front right.
Tracy Myers, NHL.com, kind of piggybacking off of that, but how critical was Sasha Barkov tonight, especially in that third period when it seemed like he was on the ice the entire time?
Such a driver, you know, he's quietly been so good for us because it's not always the overtime winners that you know, draw attention. And you love to see those guys elevate their game for their teammates. Big goal to get us back into a fighting chance. He's, you know, all the face-offs and all the things that he does for us. He's been great.
Front right.
Hey, Paul. David Twart, WPLG and the Hockey News. On a similar note, what did you think of Anton Lundell? It looked like perhaps his best game of the playoffs.
Yeah, I got like 8 or 9 guys that I don't think he can give you any more. I mean, not that the other guys didn't, but in terms of elevating their play at a tough time, down 3, you know, to find the energy and the reserve to drive as hard as they did. That's why I love these guys. You know, there's just no quit in them. But I thought that line, and Lundell and Reinhart, they got together with Barkov, and they were a threat every time they were on the ice.
Left side, third row.
Dave Hyde of the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Could you, to piggyback off a previous question, can you discuss the status of Tkachuk in the final game then? Is he in question as whether he'll play?
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you to reword that in tonight's game. The final game's like 3.
No, the next game. No, I'm sorry, the next game.
Just checking with you. Well, we got 2 days off to assess that. We'll get some good rest, and we'll make that decision then.
Right side, second row.
Paul, 2 games in a row now, that desperation in your team comes out late. You win one, you can't get the one here. Is it situational, or can you ratchet that up in the middle of a game too, to try to prevent what happened in the middle of the game?
I think that you'll see that. I think that will be, you know, where we've been at our strongest is in the most critical time, and I think you'll see that. There's a risk profile that changes when you're pushing as hard as we were toward the back half of the game. There's a risk change in their team too, so that changes the way the game looks as well.
Front left.
Paul, in your mind, what's the biggest reason why you're trailing this series?
They keep scoring more goals than we do.
Left side, third row.
Paul, how much do we think about now that Boston series and proof of concept and coming back from a 3-1 deficit?
Well, we revisit all of the adversity that we faced all year. We do it when we have injured players, and Barkov and Bennett out of our lineup and found a way at a critical time to make the playoffs. And we'll tell stories over the next 2 days for sure, reminders of the energy level we brought into Game 5 in Boston, and we'll celebrate it. We'll celebrate it before the puck drops.
Take 2 more questions for Coach, front right.
Emily Benjamin, NHL.com. How does how you feel now in this position at down 3-1 differ from how you felt in the Boston series, given that you have done this?
I don't know, it seems like a lifetime ago. Because you have that inner faith and you've also invested so very much, there's a feeling of earned success. You've earned the right. So I would say this, I believe fully we've earned the right to play our best hockey. You know, in a difficult situation, all we want to do is get this thing back here. That's our, it's not the series, it's just get this thing back home. And give our fans another look at us. So we'll go there, we'll have a game plan, it'll be 90% of this will be just mindset of how we react to the drop of that puck.
Last question, front left.
Paul, they've blocked 61 shots the last 2 games. How hard has it been to penetrate the middle, and how do you combat that when you're playing a team that committed?
Yeah, it's part of that structure. We again, we played a team very similar in their defense in the Boston series, and the shot blocking was something they're very, very good at. Getting things through the net's been a challenge for us, so change of angles, a little bit quicker off the stick. More like Barkov's goal. I understand they didn't have the bodies in front of the net, but it's on and off the stick before anybody can react to it. So a little quicker with the puck, I think.
Thank you for your time, Coach.